Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasi Adi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prachate Desatatvine.
Thank you. So today, as you know, today is the disappearance day of Srila Jiva Goswami and also Sri Jagdish Pandit. Especially Srila Jiva Goswami, such a prolific scholar and a visionary personality, that he established all the tattvas, the Vishesh tattva of Krishna tattva, and how Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And he originally composed himself personally more than 400,000 verses in glorification of Lord Shri Krishna, even surpassing what Srila Vyasadeva has done. So that is why Srila Prabhupada said that till now in the history, no one can compete with the scholarship and the intelligence of Srila Jiva Goswami, neither in Sanskrit nor in philosophy. We'll continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Brahma's 4 questions are being answered by the Supreme Lord himself. What happened? Why so much time, Prabhu? Manoram Prabhu? It is almost 8:45. 8:38.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Actually, there is call from my mother, Prabhuji. I could not.
Okay, no problem.
Call.
You attend her. You attend her, that is important. She needs care, attention, and proper treatment. So you try to go as fast as possible. If possible, tomorrow or day after?
For Friday, actually, I booked Prabhuji. And
Okay.
Saturday, I'll pay.
So you convey to her that you have already booked the ticket, so that she is assured.
Yes.
It is not sharing. I don't know why this is not allowing to share. Somebody has disabled. It is not allowing to share the screen. It is showing presenter layout. Can you see the screen? No, no? The text on the screen? Srimad Bhagavatam?
The screen is visible, Prabhuji. You can see.
No, no, but the text, the Srimad Bhagavatam text is not visible. I don't know how it has been disabled. You show the verse, Manoram. You have a laptop with you? I don't know why this is disabled. Share settings. Now it is sharing. Can you see now? Are you able to see the screen? The text?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji, but Sloka is not visible. That
Okay.
Previous part only.
Purport is there.
Yes.
I'm scrolling, you can see.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So the Supreme Lord has answered Brahmaji's 3 questions. And we have covered the 35th verse, which says that, "O Brahma, please know that the universal element enters into the cosmos. Myself also exists within this everything created, and at the same time, I am outside of everything." Anyone remembers what we discussed in this verse? Someone with good memory? What we discussed in this verse? Long purport, but very beautiful. This verse speaks about Prayojan Tattva. And what is the Prayojan? The Prayojan is the goal. The goal is to perform loving devotional service, Prema Bhakti. Yes, Priyanka, what do you remember in this verse?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
We have read that the most confidential or the mystery of the knowledge, that is the Shuddha Bhakti or Prem Bhakti.
Yeah, this is Rahasyam. Sa Rahasyam. Most confidential thing. And what is the most confidential part?
That one who have the pure love of Godhead, they can see
Yes.
Supreme Lord face to face.
By the process of devotional service. By the process of devotional service. What do you remember, Pradeep? Ravindra Prabhu has still not come. Priyanka?
No, Prabhuji. आ रहे हैं अभी थोड़ी देर।
Pradeep, quickly answer. Do you remember? You should revise. Yesterday, when we were not having class, you should have revised. You are not speaking, and from sound from other side is coming. Manoram, you answer.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One important part was that the Supreme Lord, he can award liberation to anyone, but he rarely awards the privilege of love of Prabhuji.
Yes, explain more. What about this riddle which he is saying that I exist within everything created, at the same time I outside? What is this analogy which Krishna is speaking? Yeah, Lord Vishnu. What is this analogy? Yesterday, when there was no class, day before yesterday, then there was no class. So you people don't revise. So how this Chaturshloki will enter into the heart? How we will become the recipient of this transcendental knowledge? You speak, Ramya. He is not speaking. He is not having any clarity.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, it is the verse 9 point, Bhagavad Gita verse 9.4 and 5, where Lord is saying that he is he is in the material creation and also free from all of this.
So what does this mean? What is the significance of what Krishna is speaking here? Lord
Means he is engaged in creation, but he is aloof from the creation. He is not attached to what he has created.
That is true. The more clarity.
Prabhuji, it is actually describing the about the opulence of renunciation of the Lord. The Lord is not attached to anything.
No, this verse is talking about prema bhakti. It is not talking about Lord renunciation. The Lord is always there in his spiritual world. He is in his spiritual world. He is having pastime with his pure devotees. You have to study. If you don't study, then it is difficult. I as told before also, this knowledge is transcendental knowledge, and it can only be accessed through our sincerity. I'll move next to the next verse. I have to complete also. Verse 36. Etavadev jigyasam. I think we've done this word. Tattva jigyasuna atmana anvyavidikabhyam yatsya sarvatra sarvada. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this. In all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. So this verse is talking about one's sincere effort and attempt to know the supreme absolute truth. This athato brahma jigyasa. And how this jigyasa is to be done? Sarvatra sarvada. In all space and in all times. To unfold the mystery of Bhakti Yoga as it is explained in the previous verse is the ultimate stage of all inquiries or the highest objective for the inquisitive. Everyone is searching after self-realization in different ways, but Karma Yoga, by Karma Yoga, by Jnana Yoga, by Dhyana Yoga, by Raja Yoga, or by Bhakti Yoga, etc. To engage in self-realization is the responsibility of every living entity developed in consciousness. Very important. To engage in self-realization is the responsibility of every living entity developed in consciousness. So in Kali Yuga, everyone is underdeveloped, or the consciousness is covered. So there is no interest, no inclination. One who is developed in consciousness certainly make inquiries into the mystery of the self, of the cosmic situation, and of the problems of life in all spheres and fields: social, political, economic, cultural, religious, moral, etc., and in the different branches. But here the goal of all such inquiries is explained. The Vedanta Sutra philosophy begins with this inquiry about life, and the Bhagavatam answers such inquiries up to this point, or the mystery of all inquiries. Lord Brahma wanted to be perfectly educated by the personality of Godhead, and here is the answer by the Lord, finished in 4 nutshell verses. From Aham Eva to this verse, Etavad Evaha. This is the end of all self-realization process. Men do not know that the ultimate goal of life is Vishnu, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sorry. due to being bewildered by the glaring reflection in the darkness, and as such, everyone is entering into the darkest region of material existence, driven by uncontrolled senses. The whole material existence has sprung up because of sense gratification, desire based principally on sex desire, and the result is that, in spite of all advancement of knowledge, the final goal of all activities in the living entities is sense gratification. But here is the real goal of life, and everyone should know it by inquiries put before by a bona fide spiritual master, expert in the science of Bhakti Yoga, or from the living personality of Bhagavata. It's very important that how one can move forward. But here is the real goal of life, and everyone should know it by inquiries put before a bona fide spiritual master, expert in the science of Bhakti Yoga, or from a living personality of Bhagavatam life. Everyone is engaged in various kinds of scriptural inquiries, but the Srimad Bhagavatam gives answers to all the various students of self-realization. This ultimate objective of life is not to be searched. This ultimate objective of life is not to be searched out without great labor or perseverance. One who is imbued with such sincere inquiries must ask the bona fide spiritual master in the great disciplic succession from Brahmaji, and that is the direction given here. Because the mystery was disclosed before Brahmaji by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the mystery of all such inquiries regarding self-realization must be put before such a spiritual master, who is directly the representative of the Lord, acknowledged in that disciplic succession. Such a bona fide spiritual master is able to clear up the whole thing by evidence from the revealed scripture. Very important. How the questions or the inquiries of the students are being answered. What is the perfection? Such a bona fide spiritual master is able to clear up the whole thing by evidence from revealed scriptures, both direct and indirect. Although everyone is free to consult the revealed scripture in this connection, one still requires the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, and that is the direction in this verse. The bona fide spiritual master is the most confidential representative of the Lord. One must receive direction from the spiritual master in the same way that Brahmaji received it from the personality of Godhead Lord Krishna. The bona fide spiritual master is that bona fide chain of disciplic succession, never claims to be Lord himself. Although such a spiritual master is greater than the Lord. Although such a spiritual master is greater than the Lord in a sense that he can deliver the Lord by his personally realized experience. The Lord is not to be found simply by education or by good fertile brain, but surely he can be found by the sincere student through the transparent medium of the bona fide spiritual master. So to progress on this path, what we require the guidance and help of the transparent via media of the Lord, who is representative as the spiritual master. And how the spiritual master guides? Through the revealed scriptures. The revealed scriptures give directions directly to this end. But because the bewildered living entities are blinded by the glaring reflection in the darkness, they are unable to find the truth of the revealed scriptures. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita, the whole direction is targeted towards the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. But for want of bona fide spiritual master, in the line of Brahmaji or the direct hearer, Arjun, there are different distortions of the revealed knowledge by many unauthorized persons who just want to satisfy their own whims. Undoubtedly, the Bhagavad Gita is accepted as one of the most brilliant stars in the horizon of spiritual sky. Yet the interpretations of this great book of knowledge have so grossly been distorted that every student of Bhagavad Gita is still in the same darkness of glaring material reflections. Such students are hardly enlightened by the Bhagavad Gita. In the Gita, practically the same instruction is imparted as in the four prime verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. But due to wrong and fashionable interpretation by unauthorized persons, one cannot reach the ultimate conclusion. In the Bhagavad Gita 18:16, it is clearly said, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hide deshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudani maya. The Lord is situated in the hearts of all living beings as Paramatma and is controlling all of them in the material world under the agency of his external energy. Therefore, it is clearly mentioned that the Lord is the supreme controller and that the living entities are controlled by the Lord. In the same Bhagavad Gita 1865, the Lord directs as follows: Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vashyasi satyam te pratijani priyosi me. It is clear from this verse of the Bhagavad Gita that the direction of the Lord is that one should be God-minded, a devotee of the Lord, a worshipper of the Lord, and must offer all obeisances unto Lord Krishna. By so doing, the devotee will undoubtedly go back to Godhead, back to home. This verse is speaking about the glory of offering obeisances. It says, a worshipper of the Lord and must offer all obeisances unto the Lord Krishna. And by so doing, the devotee will undoubtedly go back to Godhead, back to home. Indirectly, it is said here that the whole Vedic construction of human society is so made that everyone acts as part and parcel of the complete body of the Lord. The intelligent class of men or the Brahmanas are situated on the face of the Lord. The administrative class of men, the Kshatriyas, are situated on the arms of the Lord. The productive class of men, the Vaishyas, are situated on the belt of the Lord. And the liberal class of men, the Shudras, are situated on the legs of the Lord. Therefore, the complete social construction is the body of the Lord. And all the parts of the body, namely the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Sudras, are meant to serve the Lord's whole body conjointly. Otherwise, the parts become unfit to be coordinated with the supreme consciousness of oneness. Universal consciousness is factually achieved by coordinated service of all concerned to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that alone can ensure total perfection. Therefore, even the great scientists, the great philosophers, and the great mental speculators, the great politicians, the great industrialists, the great social reformers, etc., cannot give any relief to the restless society. Please hear it very, very sincerely. Prabhupada is giving an open challenge. He's saying that even the great scientists, the great philosophers, the great mental speculators, the great politicians, industrialists, social reformers, etc., cannot give any relief to the restless society of this material world because they do not know the secret of success as mentioned in this verse of the Bhagavatam. Namely, that one must know the mystery of Bhakti Yoga. In Bhagavad Gita 7:15 also it is said, Namam dushkiti no mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya prita jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. Because the so-called great leaders of human society are ignorant of this great knowledge of Bhakti Yoga and are always engaged in ignoble acts of self gratification, bewildered by the external energy of the Lord. They are stubborn rebels against the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they never agree to surrender unto Him because they are fools, miscreants, and the lowest type of human being. Such faithless non-believers may be highly educated in the material sense of the term, but factually they are greatest fools of the world, because by the influence of the external material nature, all their so-called acquisition of knowledge has been made null and void. Therefore, all advancement of knowledge in the present context of things is being misused by cats and dogs fighting with one another for sense gratification. And all acquisition of knowledge in science, philosophy, fine arts, nationalism, economic development, religion, and great activities are being spoiled by religion, and great activities are being spoiled by being used as dresses for dead man. There is no utility in the dress used for covering a coffin of a dead body, save getting false applause from the ignorant public. The Srimad Bhagavatam therefore says again and again that without attainment of the status of Bhakti Yoga, all the activities of the human society are to be considered absolute failures only. It is said, Parabhavastavad abodh jata yavanna jignasta atma tattva यावत् क्रियास्तावदिदं मनोवे कर्मात्मकं येन शरीर बंधा. As long as one is blind to inquiring about self-realization, all material activities, however great they may be, are all different kinds of defeat, because the aim of human life is not fulfilled by such unwanted and profitless activities. The functions of the human body is to attain freedom from material bondage. But as long as one is fully absorbed in material activities, his mind will be so overwhelmed in the whirlpool of matter, and thus he will continue to be engaged in material bodies life after life. Evam mana karma vasham prayukte अविद्यात्मने उपधायमने धायामने प्रीतिर्नयावान् वासुदेव नामुच्यते देवयोगेन तावत्. It is one's mind that generates different kind of bodies for suffering different kinds of material pangs. Mind generates desires, and according to desire and one's activities, one receive bodies for suffering different kinds of material pangs. Therefore, as long as the mind is absorbed in fruitive activities, the mind is understood to be absorbed in nations, and thus one is sure to be subjected to material bondage in different bodies again and again, until one develops transcendental love for Godhead, Vasudeva, the Supreme Person. To become absorbed in the transcendental name, qualities, form, and activities of the Supreme Person Vasudeva means to change the temper of the mind. Very important aspect. Today's key term, to change the temper of the mind from matter to absolute knowledge, which leads one to the path of absolute realization and thus frees one from the bondage of material contact and engagement in different material bodies. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada therefore comments on the words Sarvatra Sarvada, in the sense that the principles of Bhakti Yoga or devotional service to the Lord are apt in all circumstances. That is, Bhakti Yoga is recommended in all the revealed scriptures. It is performed by all authorities It is important in all places and is useful in all cause and effects, etc. As far as the revealed scriptures are concerned, he quotes from the Skanda Puran on the topics of Brahma and Narad as follow. Samsare asmin mahaghore janma mrityu samakule pujanam vasudevasya tarakam vidibhi smritam. In the material world, which is full of darkness and dangers, combined with birth and death and full of different anxieties, the only way to get out of this great entanglement is to accept loving transcendental devotional service to Lord Vasudeva. This is accepted by all classes of philosophers. It is still very big. Oh, won't be able to finish. It's running into many, many pages. See? Oh my God, this is a huge one. It's very big. The purport is really very big. So what I suggest is that we do the reading on our own. It is still running into many pages. So you all do the reading, and tomorrow we will have a little discussion, question, answer, and then we proceed to the next. Okay, from your side, any contribution or question or query? You are asking something, Ramya?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Boliye.
Prabhuji, mm, Prabhuji, here when in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is talking about bona fide spiritual master. ये लाइन थोड़ा मुझे ये indirect and direct का meaning क्या है प्रभु? Such a bona fide spiritual master is able to clear up the whole thing by evidence from the revealed scripture, both direct and indirect. Direct and indirect.
Direct from the revealed scripture, it's direct evidence. And indirect is what? His personal realizations. His personal realizations. So this here Prabhupada is emphasizing that one may have the revealed scriptures, but that is not sufficient. He will not be able to find the right solution. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyate Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. This verse is talking about this aspect. That one who is really inquisitive to know, to inquire about the supreme absolute truth. One who wants to perfect his self-realization, he must take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and learn from him. And the experienced spiritual master who has realized the spiritual knowledge can impart knowledge to him.
जी प्रभु जी, और ये जो प्रभु जी चेंज द टेम्पर ऑफ द माइंड, थोड़ा मुझे इलाबोरेटली थोड़ा समझना है.
थोड़ा उससे पहले पढ़ो. चेंज द टेम्पर ऑफ द माइंड से 2 स्टेटमेंट पहले पढ़ो.
To become absorbed in the transcendental name, quality, form, and activities of the Supreme Person, Vasudev, means to change the temper of the mind from the matter to absolute knowledge.
Yes, clear. अभी माइंड का एब्जॉर्प्शन किधर है?
मैटर में.
नाम रूप गुण लीला में है, तो चेंज करना पड़ेगा. हाउ? बाय committing to the instructions of the spiritual master, sincerely following it. Who can follow? Not everyone can follow. Who has changed the temper of his mind can only follow. Very good. You are already showing signs of one who is really sincere and serious to know the supreme absolute truth. So one has to perform the process which is given by the Supreme Lord. And what is the process? The process is bhakti. Okay. So I'm closing today. I'm very exhausted, tired. Last, I had 2 classes in 2 days, yesterday Rohini and today Radha Parsarthi. I wanted to speak on the Shat Sandarbhas, but time was not there. Some other time I'll speak. The first 4 Sandarbhas, it talks about this Sambandha Tattva. And then the Bhakti Sandarbha talks about the sadhan, the process. And what is that? Sadhana Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti in the immature stage, and when Sadhana Bhakti matures, what is it called? Bhakti is in T stages. Bolo, Manora. What are the 3 stages?
Just sadhana and Brahma Bhakti, remember.
You cannot jump from sadhana to prema. Bhava
Yeah,
is
in
required.
between.
Have to be Krishna Bhavana Bhavit. Then only one can become, one can come to the platform of prema. Okay, I'll stop here. Dayāśīl Prabhu is not there, Ramya, today.
हे प्रभु जी अभी अभी उठे
अभी उठे हैं,
जी प्रभु जी अभी वॉशरूम गए हैं।
सो रहे हैं। सोने खाने में भी बहुत एब्जॉर्प्शन है। अभी जागने के पता नहीं कितने जन्म लगेंगे। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाए, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाए, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी, हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण।